Hey there, and good afternoon. And thank you for joining me for today's Lunch and Learn. I think it's episode 53, but I didn't have time to look through my YouTube or Facebook, and I'm pretty sure it is episode 53. And we are going to talk about an amazing subject today about shining your light on others. And I know that sounds kind of like really like kumbaya or, you know, kind of like hippie, but it's much more than you think. And so before we get started, I know the audience here, our Facebook Live is building. And so welcome. Happy Wednesday. And for those of you guys who are just joining me, please make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel where all of these episodes are archived. And that's youtube.com/Create Wealth with Tara, or just go to youtube.com and search Lunch and Learn Tara Wilson. So we're going to start today and talk about shining your light on others. And if you haven't realized this yet, if you're new to network marketing, or if you're a seasoned veteran and you're not, you know, where you want to be, or, you know, doesn't matter what level you're playing at, you have to know that, number one, this is a people business. Oh, look at, there's my friend. Come here. This is Becky. I'm up in Bellingham, Washington with Becky Taylor, one of my dear friends and leaders. And this woman's probably one of the greatest about this topic. So I'm sure she's got her coffee and her phone. She's ready to sit here and watch this. But the topic today is shining your light on others. And this is a people business, guys. You know, we all have great services, we all have great products, but at the end of the day, it's a people and a personal development. It's a people development business wrapped around a product, right? Because there's a lot of great products or services in our industry that could very easily be on the shelf at, you know, Costco. And why do they give the opportunity to people, right? Like Amway, for example, people stayed in Amway and didn't make $500 a month, and they'd stay for 5, 10, 20 years. Why? Because of the person they became. They became a better leader in their community. They became a better parent, a better employee, a better employer, a better member of their church, right? They learn sound principles. And for some people, the lessons they learn and the way they're made to be felt, the way they're made feel, is more important than any money, right? And I know you've probably all heard the statement, it doesn't matter how much you know, it matters how much you care, right? People don't care how much you know, they care about how much you care. I don't know, I totally screwed that, but anyway. Make people feel important. So number one of the lesson today is make people feel important, because they are. We are all, you know, created to be different, and that's the spice of life. You don't want everyone to be the same. That would be boring. If everyone was an alpha personality, or everyone was a beta personality, or if everyone was confrontational, or everyone was happy-go-lucky, it would be weird. Like, we can't all be the same. So variety is definitely the spice of life. And, you know, you have to learn to love people for who they are, which is why, you know, our team motto, with my personal team, our team is everybody matters. Everyone matters. Everyone matters. And, you know, the most important thing you can do for someone is let them know that they matter, and that you appreciate them, whether they, you know, a lot of times people are just like, I got 20 people on my team, Tara, and they're not doing anything. They're not making calls. They're not going to events. You know, they're not even getting on our calls. And I say, well, let me ask you a question. Are they a user of your product? Yeah, I don't get it. This person's had great results, and they don't talk to anyone about it. I'm like, do they order every month? They say, yeah. And I'm like, I'll take 10,000 of those, please. I'll take 100,000 of those, please, right? We call those, you know, fans. They're in it. They love the community. A lot of times they're just watching from afar, and they all matter. You know, they're using your products, and you don't know, they might be talking about it privately, right? Maybe they're too afraid to talk about it yet. Maybe their time hasn't come to where they feel comfortable talking about it. I'll take 100,000 of those, please, right? And so, you know, remember when you're talking to people, whether you're in a home meeting or you're on a phone call or a conference call, or if you've got a big team, I know there's some big leaders out there watching. When you're talking, it's important to talk. Anybody can talk to you, right? Anybody, a good speaker is something. There are plenty of out there that can speak well. Speaking is a skill that you can learn, right? Anyone can speak well, but a good communicator, take two, a good communicator, she's laughing over, look at that. A good communicator speaks to you, not at you, right? Anyone can get up and do a PowerPoint or spew facts and figures and this and that, but it takes somebody to really talk to you that is going to make a lasting change, right? A speech has nothing to do, their speech has nothing to do with how people feel. A good speaker talks at you, right? A good speaker talks to you. And a good speaker will paint a vivid picture, usually by telling stories, usually personal stories. You can't make up stories. That's fraud. You want to tell authentic stories. I know one of my earlier lunch and learns was the topic was story, tell your way to the top. And I apologize, there's horrible lighting in that. I don't know how it has so many views. I look terrible, the lighting's terrible, but it's actually a good message. And they paint a vivid picture of what we're all doing. So I want to talk to everyone in the industry for a minute, because I know there's plenty of people. I get your beautiful messages and your posts and your comments on the lunch and learn from people all over the industry. They're not in my team, never have been on my team, maybe never will be on my team, that say, thank you for your lunch and learn and stuff. And I just want to say it's because we are all in the same industry. I share in some leaders with you. Like some of you you follow Eric Worre. So Eric Worre is a leader in the industry, and the reason we all follow him in all different companies and all walks of life and all different countries, I mean, he's got a global reach now, is because he paints a vivid picture of what he wants to see in the industry and what we're doing together and why it matters. His entire mission is to elevate the industry of network marketing so that it is a better opportunity for you and me, so that we learn the skills, so that we're not damaging the industry by doing it incorrectly. Because if your people on your team are unprofessional and somebody from my team meets them and they hate the industry because of the way that your people treated them, or vice versa, then it ruins the opportunity for all of us. So, think about your team, your company. There are a lot of people cross-line to you, right? There are people in the industry. Like I have friends all over the industry, and we all share leaders like Eric Worre and, Tony Robbins and John Maxwell in common, because they are here for a bigger purpose. So now you can kind of scale that down to your team, is, paint vividly to people what the purpose is. Why are you there, and why does it matter? Right? Why is your service going to change people's lives? Why is your product going to change people's lives? And why does it matter, right? How is your opportunity going to change people's lives? Because here's the bottom line is, no matter what your company mission is, death happens, sickness happens, illness happens, household struggles, there's relationship problems. Life is hard, and for all people. And anyone who tells you difference is a liar. I mean, I have gone through so many really big life events, like losing my mother 4 years ago, and the show went on. I mean, of course I mourn still every day, but the show goes on. I mean, I have to still keep doing what I need to do, and she would have not wanted me to, because she knew, how much I love doing. But the bottom line is, life is going to happen, and what you need people to know is that everyone matters in your team. That even if they have a hardship, or they've got a personality that they have to overcome, or deep-rooted anxiety or fear, or long-time programming that they have to overcome, because I'll tell you, it's not an even playing field. It's not. Some of us grew up with people telling us we weren't great. Some of us grew up with people telling us anything's possible. And so your deep-rooted programming, it's not an even playing field. Some of us do have more tragedy. Some of us do have more sickness. Some of us do have more negative people in our lives, right? But what you need to tell people is that, and the whole, the best thing you can do building a team is to let families know that you can take a few simple steps when you can that will help them weather the bad times, that will increase their finances a little bit, and will make it better during the good times. Because there's a rainy season and a sunny season in all of our lives. I'm sitting here in Bellingham, and I live in California, so this girl's freezing. But look, I don't know if you can see that. Maybe you can't. It's snowing outside, right? We have a meeting tonight. Here I am. I booked my travel. It's like really snowing. And, I'm here and we have a meeting, and all of a sudden there's unexpected snow. But instead of being like, oh, the snow, we're like, what can we do? We can Facebook Live our event, right? We can patch people in. We can use internet. We can connect people that can't make it through the snow, right? Because life's going to throw you curveballs. So I'm going to talk to you guys about a study, and this is ironic because the study was done back in the early 1900s, and they literally were shining a light on people. So it's kind of metaphorical about how you can shine your light on people and why it's important. So in the early 1900s, the Hawthorne Works in Chicago commissioned a study to see if they could make workers more productive. So they divided the workers into two groups. They told one group they were going to participate in a study on productivity. Just told them that. So like, well, I don't know if they took 100, whatever. Let's just say 100 people here, 100 people here. These people were told that they were going to be participating in a study on productivity. And all they actually did for this group was make the lights in the factory a tiny bit brighter. So like the brightness of the light bulbs. And what's crazy is productivity in that group soared. And the researchers concluded that the higher productivity it was not by the actual brighter lights, but by the fact that the people suddenly felt that someone was studying them, someone was watching them. There were expectations that they were saying, okay, well, we believe in you. Let's see what you do. And when given the chance to shine, they did. How many people on your team need that chance? Because they're not getting it at home, right? Maybe they grew up with a negative family, or negative parents, or negative coaches, or they have that personality that they just, they've been conditioned all their life to thinking they're not great. So the better light bulbs or more attention, it came down to both, they were shining more light on people. They were giving them attention. And the fascinating thing itself is that it was very slight. Let me read it. I'm reading the study here. Saying that the change itself was very slight. It wasn't as if the researchers told the workers how great they were. They didn't tell them, they lavished all kinds of praise on them. They just told them they were going to be studied. And it doesn't sound like a big deal, but the point that was somebody was finally paying attention to them. And that goes back to our mantra, everyone matters. Do you know that there's people who work in a job, a job for a boss that doesn't care about them, and they're never told how great they are. In fact, if they're late or they do something wrong, and the opposite happens, they get reprimanded. Or a spouse that never appreciates them, that takes them for granted, never says, they're like, you never put the toilet seat down, you never do the dishes, you're never home, you never do this. Instead of just appreciating a couple things. Now, guys, I know, I've been in the industry almost 10 years. I know that there are some people that are hard to love, but to lead someone is to love them, and to love them is to lead them. And you have to find one thing about that person and illuminate it. So let's say you have someone, we all have negative Nellies on our team. Believe me, this is a people business. I don't even know who enrolled them, but negative Nellies. Well, what if you just found something good about that person, like, hey, Nellie, I just noticed that you're on every phone call, because there are, I don't know about you, but we record and we know everybody's on our team. Like, I just want to applaud you, say like, wow, you're really showing up. You must be learning a lot. Your game is going to be better. When you start shooting the ball, you're going to make those shots, right? Like, you haven't taken many shots, but girl, boy, whatever, like when you start taking shots, you're going to be extraordinary, because you're on the call, and I've got this superstar over here that's never on the call, but you're on every call, and I just want to applaud you for just being present, right? And what are you doing to that person? That person that nobody knows, that really nobody cares about, the person enrolled and forgot about him because they aren't doing anything, right? Acceptance-based performance is my least favorite thing in the whole world. But recognition just really goes a long way. It really does. That's one of our core beliefs in our team, is you have to recognize and appreciate people, because your business is people. Money comes from people. Money doesn't come from a card. Money doesn't come from a building. Money doesn't come from anything but people. And to the degree which you make people feel special, you're going to learn how to make money. And you have got to learn to love people. It's not about inspiring them how great you are. Sure, there's some validation in what's it called? When you introduce somebody, what's it called when you introduce somebody?
Introduction?
When you raise somebody up. I'm asking her. What's that called? When you're like, this is Becky and she's done so much. Edification. There's something about edifying people that's valid, because your prospect or the people on the line need to know, if this person like, are they competent if I join this team? Does somebody know what they're doing around here, right? So edification is important, but it doesn't matter how much money someone's made. If they come on and they're arrogant and they're speaking at people instead of to them, and they're just hotshot and arrogance and ego, that doesn't help people move forward. But if you just say to someone, yeah, okay, like what's more exciting? Some poor person that you make sound great that just treats people like crap, or some leader that's made millions of dollars that makes your prospect feel good, that makes them feel welcome, that makes them feel loved, that makes them feel accepted, that makes them feel special? What is going to result in a better outcome? People don't care about, like, I watch some of these young hotshots around, guys especially, around the industry, and I'm like, I don't care how many calls you make and how many this and how much you're crushing it. Do you care about people? Are you making them feel special? And it's funny because the friends that I still have from the industry, and I've been in, this is my 4th company proudly, the first 2 aren't even in existence anymore. I still have friends from my company, and the friends that I have in all of the time that I've been in the industry, the friends that I still have now, and some that I've never been in, the leaders that I know in the industry, they all have one thing in common. They make people feel important. They make them feel special. They lift each other up. And those friends that I have I'm proud to call them my friend, not because they have, some of them are making nothing. Some of them are making $100 a month, which is not nothing, but some of them haven't had great success, but I like them and I still talk to them because they make people feel special, and they truly and genuinely care about people and are constantly telling them. So, are you painting a vision of what's possible on your team? Are you making people feel welcome and special and important? That's why we also have a motto on our team. There's always different packages from, maybe $100 up to $1,000, $2,000, whatever it is. And our motto is get in when you fit in. I'm going to launch you if you invested $100 in my business, same as the person who spent $1,300 in my business. Why? Because everybody matters and everything matters and everyone has a network. And this person might just not really have the money, or they really might not have the belief yet. But if you get into their network, all of a sudden magic can happen. There's nothing worse than saying, like, I'm not going to work with you if you to come in on this package. That's awful, right? Then what is that person hearing? All they're hearing is, I don't matter. The volume that you'll get from me matters. The money that you're going to get from me matters, but I don't matter. So, don't ever be that guy, by the way. But here's another, the problem is they did find out that the productivity of the workers sank back down when they turned the lights back down and they stopped the study. So you do need to keep shining on people, and you don't have to do it individually. If you've got 10,000 people on your team, of course you can't make 10,000 calls, but every time you get on a call or a webinar or in your Facebook groups, every once in a while just say, hey, I love you guys. Is anybody struggling? And just let people know that I care about you, and if you need me, I'm here. It's impossible to talk to everybody on my team every day. There's impossible. I don't have enough minutes in the day. Even if I took 1 minute per person, I do not have the time. But I can tell people when they reach out to me, or I can tell them on a call, or when I see them at an event, I can let them know that I appreciate them being there, and I appreciate them. In my video, I had a chance to do a video. Every company, once you get to certain ranks, they do this video, and a lot of people like to show off their cars and their houses and all their trinkets and their stuff. I want you guys to go to YouTube and watch mine, and I want you to see what the message was. I just talked about how it's changed my life being a parent and being a stay-at-home mom, and what this meant to me, and I was talked about my team and how honored I am to work with them. That's a message. That's who I am as a leader. And so who are you as a leader? Whether you're leading 5 or 500,000, you have an opportunity every day to shine your light on people. And just like you can't water a plant and give it sun for 3 or 4 days, you're going to have to keep shining on people. And if you don't love people, this is going to be a very difficult industry, because to lead people, you must love people. And I recommend, if you have a hard time, if you've had deep-rooted, problems in the past with parents or siblings or spouses treating you, you might be harboring that. Like if males have always treated you really, really, really horribly, you might need to clear out that energy in order to like males again. Because, half of the people that you'll talk to for network marketing, half the people on your team, well, actually a little less than network marketing, will be males. And if you don't like males or females, you're going to have a hard time succeeding in this business. But it's important to keep, give people your attention, but it's also keep doing it. show up for them. That means when you get on a call, bring your A game, bring your love, talk to them, not at them. Connect with people. Let them know how important they are to you and how important they are to the mission of everything that you guys want to accomplish together. And if you don't know what that is, you got to figure that out. Your team should have a mission. Our team has a mission. We have goals. We have a motto, and we know exactly who we are, what we're doing, and where we're going, and what kind of people that we want to attract. And I just recommend, that you do that. And remember, as a leader, you work for your people. It's not the other way around. So next time you hear someone say like, I have all these people on my team do nothing, what are you doing? Because the highest form of authority, moral authority, is walking the walk. I don't lead people because I have a title and I talk at them. I lead people because I'm out in the field every single day, all day, every day. I'm traveling all over this month, in homes, on three-way calls. I'm doing launch calls in between work calls and three-way calls and, communication. And I work for you. I work for my team. So thank you guys, and go ahead and make sure that you just go shine some light on someone today and go make them feel better. Make them feel appreciated. And don't say, hey, I love you, and hey, do you want to do a launch call in the same breath? Just say, hey, I just want to let you know I'm really, really glad that you partnered up with me and that you're having great results for this, company or this product. And I just want you to let you know I'm super glad you're part of the team, and leave it at that. Make people feel special. Imagine every day that every person you talk to, whether they're on your team or even if someone tries to recruit you, they have a sign on their head that says, make me feel important. And most of all, the people that you're leading in your house, like your children, right? That's a hard one. So thank you guys. Keep shining, and don't forget to subscribe, youtube.com/create wealth with Tara, or just Google, this is Google, and I have my keyboard right up here on YouTube, Lunch and Learn Tara Wilson. And hopefully, if all goes well, I'll be there tomorrow. My flight's not looking good, so I will try to get on, even if it's a late lunch tomorrow, and bring you another episode. So thanks all. Have a wonderful day, and keep shining. Bye.